So I literally woke up. I woke up and the first thing I saw was, rest in peace messages, group chats going off, and you never see, you don't know who it is until you open the message. And I opened the message, and it said Diogo Jota passed away in a car crash in Spain. Him and his brother Andre Silva. So first thing I want to say is rest in peace to the both of them. Peace to their families. For the mother to lose two sons like that. Both of them just got married recently, so for them to lose their husbands, the wives to lose their husbands, and then Jota's three kids as well. It's one of those things you can't really process, right? It's just something that's just not. It doesn't make sense. You never think it would happen I think I've been watching the Premier League. I'm watching football for 20 years now. I don't think I've ever seen something like this happen or heard about something like this happen. I've heard about different leagues, players passing on and things like that, but at least in the Premier League that I've watched heavily for so long, I can't remember a player, a well-known player in their peak or playing for a big club kind of passing away in the middle of their career, basically. So it's difficult. It's difficult to digest. The only thing I could say about Jota, and I don't really want to focus on his footballing ability. For me as a person, right? I don't know if you guys that support different clubs, you ever see these? It used to be called FIFA, but now it's EAFC. But they'll do these like player ratings every year, and every year that Jota's been in the club, they would always have him kind of do it or just be involved with it, and because obviously he's probably the best footballing player in the world, in terms of FIFA or EAFC, whatever. And he always brought a positivity out of the players. He dealt with a lot of injuries in his time here, even at Wolves, dealt with a lot of injuries, but he was always upbeat. You'd always see him on the bench laughing with the players. He would come on. Nobody would celebrate a goal harder than him. Somebody that you could tell he really cared about his teammates, and his teammates cared about him. That's just a culture that we have at Liverpool, where we're a community. We love each other. Even though I'm not somebody that lives in Liverpool, I live far away from, but the community, the love extends throughout the world, and that's something that's been extended to him as well. Despite all his injuries, one thing we'd always say is when Jota's fit, he's going to be back and firing. He's going to be contributing to our team. He's going to be bringing the positive energy, the love that he's brought since the day he joined from Wolves would always be there. Outside of his footballing ability, him as a person would always be there. I remember he scored, was it against Forest? I want to say it was Forest, but he scored a goal, and he had a tribute to Luis Diaz when his dad got kidnapped. That's the kind of person he was. That's the kind of people that we bring to the football club. And for it to happen like this, to me, it's baffling, especially to wake up to a news like that. It's just baffling to me. I don't even know how to process it. And talk less of me. I mean, you wonder how the family's feeling, or the families are feeling. I don't know too much about his brother. I just heard about him today, but that's still another life as well. Football is one of those things that, it's a job. It's just for fun. It's not that deep, right? When I saw people say things like rivalries aside, why are you even thinking about rivalries at a time like this? Why are you even concerned about, he plays for Liverpool? He's a human being in a community. We're all in the same community, footballing community. Who cares what club he plays for? It's about a life and about the lives that are going to be impacted by something like this happening. So for me, it's just tragic. It's just tragic. I don't know how. Well, one thing I can say is, I wasn't alive when Hillsborough happened. I wasn't. It happened so long before I became a football fan, a Liverpool fan, that the impact around it wasn't as heavy, right? Like what happened in 1989. But one thing that always happened was every year there was a tribute. Every April, we'd have a tribute to those fans that lost their lives. We'd always talk about it. We'd always give, a couple weeks of remembrance for it. And at least it was always during the season, right? So fans could come together and join up and kind of celebrate those lives. I have no doubt in my mind that Liverpool's going to do something like that, for Diogo. Whether it's every 20th minute clapping, whether it's, retiring the number 20, whether it's painting a new mural, Liverpool's going to find a way to honor his legacy. And I think that's something that we're certain of. That's the kind of football club that we support. We know that's gonna happen. So I'm not even concerned about how they're gonna honor him. I know they're gonna honor him, and they should honor him, because outside of being a damn good footballer, he was a great human being. For fans that are not Liverpool fans, maybe you don't know him, maybe you don't, maybe you didn't watch his streams or on Twitch or anything like that, but for us Liverpool fans that knew the guy's character and who he was as a human being, you know that he's somebody that's well deserving of tributes and honor and whatever the club wants to give him, whether it's giving his salary to his wife and kids, or just taking care of his family somewhere somehow. I'm very certain that Liverpool would do something like that. But I'm just praying for his family. I'm praying for you can't even say peace, because at a time like this, how do you even process? I'm seeing how Liverpool fans are being affected, and because we've grown so close to the player, we've grown to love the guy. We can't even fathom what those around him are feeling, or those around him and his brother are feeling right now. But most we can do is just send our loves, send positive things. I'm glad. I was scrolling through Twitter for like 30 minutes. I didn't see anything negative about him or about his brother. So I'm glad that's not happening, and I hope it doesn't happen either. But yeah, just pray for his family. Pray for Liverpool fans. I'm not saying that like selfishly. I'm saying that because any football club that this happens to, just send your love to the fans as well, right? At least you can interact with them and they can see it and all the kinds. Just send your love to a Liverpool fan, and just don't say rivalries aside. Just send your love. There's no need to put the rivalries aside aspect to it. But one thing I'm thankful for is I'm thankful for him being able to win things with the football club, him being able to experience the adulation of fans. Like I said, football doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, but at least being able to see that love, and people singing his name, and people just idolizing him and supporting him and wearing his jersey to games and being fans of him. At least he was able to get his flowers while he was still here. At least he was able to get that love from Liverpool and fans around the world, Portuguese fans as well, Portugal fans. At least he was able to get that love, while he was here. There's nothing worse than, if he had a terrible season and everyone was just bashing him. And I'm glad at a club like this, that's not something that we like to do. We like to stand by our players, support our players. We're a very community-based club, so I'm glad he felt loved. At least I hope he felt loved by the club at the time he was here and the time he was with us. So it's a tough thing to kind of wake up to, or just hear in general. But the two things I focus on is praying for peace for his family, praying for just, you can never understand something like this. There's no way to rationalize it, but praying for his family, and also just praying that Liverpool would do right by him and his family and take care of them the best way that we can think of. So I had intended to record videos today, but it's kind of like a sullen mood. I don't really feel like it, but I'm just praying for him and his family. That's the most I could think of. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. Just remember that life is short. I know we hear that cliche every day, but life really is short. Anything that you want to do, please go and do it. Any person that you want to say something to, please go and say that thing. Don't leave don't leave don't leave things unfinished. Don't leave things, in a bad place. Show love to people every day. Spread love to people every day. Do what it is that you want to do. Just don't wait for tomorrow. Don't wait for next year. Do what you want to do. Put your mind to it, and don't leave anything on the table. So that's kind of my message. I'm glad I was able to get through this video without getting too emotional and getting too teary-eyed. But yeah, this has never happened to me in all my years of being a Liverpool fan. I've experienced different types of tragedy, but this is the worst I could think of as a Liverpool fan. The worst gut-wrenching feeling I've ever experienced as a Liverpool fan. I think many of us can relate to that, especially those of us are around my age. But one thing about Liverpool is we're going to come together. We're gonna support each other, love on each other, and find ways to keep his memory alive. And yeah, it's tough, but you never walk alone.